Next up, we're going to move to item number 11. This is Commissioner Shropshire's item. This is concerning a DDOT traffic study. I'll let you explain it, Commissioner. You have 3 minutes to do that.
Okay, so I've met with constituents in my single member district, and they've expressed concern over the growing traffic, parking, and pedestrian issue that centers around KIPP Webb Charter School. And so after meeting with them, we highlighted some concerns that they have, which included growing traffic congestion and parking issues due to the student body increase and parent drop-off and pickup activity. This area, like it originally started out just affecting like Holbrook Street, but they've increased the student body at that location to 800 students. And so the concerns now include the surrounding streets like 16th Street, Trinidad Avenue, Rome Street, Sims Place, Childress Street, because people are just trying to like park their cars and get their kids in and out of the school. Another concern is that there is interest in making Holbrook Street a one-way street. And so residents on Holbrook Street are in support of that, and there was another request to make Orange Street, which is the alleyway behind KIPP, a one-way street, but residents on Trinidad Avenue and Orange are not in support of that. There's also speeding that takes place along the Holbrook Street, and a persistent difficulty with and dangerous pedestrian conditions while crossing Holbrook Street in Rome and Holbrook Street in Mount Olivet. So in order to address this problem, I had to meet with the residents and inform them what KIPP and also other residents on Holbrook Street were interested in doing. And so we got a petition that was signed by the residents on Holbrook Street in support of making Holbrook Street one way. The original proposal was to have designated hours from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. But there was concern that limiting those hours would cause more problems, so they're in support of extending those hours to maybe like one way all the time. So in order to do this, we have to go through DDOT, and we are requesting that they conduct a traffic impact study of the entire surrounding perimeter of KIPP Webb Charter School located at 1375 Mount Olivet Road to determine feasible solutions to the persistent ongoing traffic, parking, and pedestrian issues for the neighborhood. And that would include but not be limited to these components as a potential solution: one-way traffic on Holbrook Street, resident-only parking on the east side of Holbrook Street, crosswalks, pedestrian signs, and stop signs on both sides of Holbrook and Rome Street, and consistent parking enforcement or a crossing guard to address the issue of the illegal parking, and then also no left signs from Orange Street and also Mount Olivet. So I'm just presenting this to the ANC, and also want to move that we support the request for a traffic impact study from DDOT on behalf of the residents of Holbrook Street and also KIPP administration.
Been moved and seconded, and I'll just paraphrase that we submit the attached letter distributed.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll move into 5 minutes of discussion. We'll do 1-minute rounds per commissioner, please. If anyone wants to speak twice, we'll just ask that everyone be given an opportunity to speak first. I see Commissioner Lee would like to go first.
Okay, I'm at a loss on Orange Street where it crosses Mount Olivet Road.
You know the alleyway that comes out behind KIPP School, where KIPP has like a little, it's not a roundabout, but it's a little driveway, and so that's considered Orange Street.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Not an alley?
It's Orange Street.
Oh, okay. Okay, so also you have those, even though the alley is posted 15 miles an hour, you know, I'm in the 1500 block of Trinidad. So the race starts at 1500 block of Trinidad to, now that I don't know if my alley is considered a street, but you know, they race from Levis, I don't know what direction they come in to do that drop off. So I don't know, the alley's already posted 15 miles an hour, but I don't know if you want to, well, I'd like to see even more, even notification to the parents that there is that speed limit in the alley.
So we were asking for, so you're indicating that you would like to request, speed limit signs?
Well, they're there. Well, notifications to the parents. Cause something's gonna go to the parents after this, correct? I would think that.
I mean, this is the first step in the process, which is to get the petition, come to the ANC, get approval, and present it to DDOT so they can actually do the study and figure out what is needed.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner Hamilton.
Yeah, how is this different from what was proposed before? DDOT came out, met with the residents. It was determined that KIP DC was adversely impacting Holbrook Street and the surrounding area. So I'm just at a loss as to why this seems duplicative. So there was no resolution before, and how will this be different?
So I'm not aware of what was done before, but I know that after consulting with DDOT, this is the process that they suggested that we do in order to consider a resolution to the growing problem that is currently still bothering the residents on Holbrook Street, and it's actually more of a burden because there's more students now there that when they didn't consider all of these parking and traffic issues in the original development plan whenever they built KIP. So this is something that we have to do that will start the process and get it moving.
Any other commissioners with questions or concerns? I will just, can't get my timer right. I will just add that this is the same process that the commission used, I believe, to launch the 17th Street speed study. It did take about 6 months, I think, from the time we submitted the letter to the time it started. So it's just something for the community and commissioners to be aware of, that these things do take a while, but they do happen. So I'll leave it at that. Commissioner, you have 2 more minutes of discussion about it. Do I hear from the audience now? Or? Anyone in the audience have any questions or anything they'd like to add?
Is it one-way northbound or southbound?
So that's something that we would have to figure out because there's a lot of one-way streets in that area, and we were told that it's not just DDOT's decision, they have to consult with MPD as well because that's something, it has something to do with why some of the streets are one-way and are one-way out.
Yeah, why is it they put a traffic light right there in Holbrook and because after you get past Denny, that's where a lot of pedestrians coming in there. Because when I drive through there in the morning, kids are running towards the school with their parents, and they need more traffic light and a crosswalk right there.
So I actually have that in here as well as part of the request. So
Yeah, but and then they need what you was calling the alleyway, they need a caution light or something there also. But that helps. That slows down the traffic with the parents and the people that are driving. Because most of that they're turning and going in and out, signal, and they're not gonna stop for a traffic cop or a traffic officer or whatever you call it. Because they just, most everybody just drive through it.
thank you. So I do have the, I didn't read that part, but I do have on here traffic light and crosswalk light at the intersection of Holbrook Street and Mount Oliver. But the one thing that you just highlighted is a potential caution light at that alleyway. So I can add that.
Any further discussion from commissioners? Alright, so seeing no further discussion, there was a motion to submit this letter as distributed. It sounds like there is a small change to the letter. Can you just say what you're going to change?
So the one change here is going to be that I will add, as part of the potential solutions, a caution light at the Orange Street alleyway.
And that'll be under item number 1.
That will be under item number 1, and it'll be letter F.
So just so we're clear, so it was moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all for the motion, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed? That motion passes unanimously by a vote of 6-0. Congratulations, Commissioner. Next up, we will move to Commissioner Blackmail on item number 12, which is the historic application for Kingman Park Civic Association.
Thank you, Chairman Roberts. Good evening, my name is Fraser Walton, and I'm president of Kingman Park Civic Association, and I'm here with Veronica Ragland and James Wiggins, who are on our executive board of the Civic Association, and we have 3 minutes, so I'll be very quick in my presentation. We made a presentation before on our application before the DC Historic Preservation Board, requesting that a portion of wards 5, 6, and 7 be made historic as the original historic African American community. And quickly, I just wanted to share this with you because I've already made a presentation that I don't want to be over again, be duplicated in that respect. But I wanted to notify you of 2 other individuals who came up in this community who we are looking forward to making a change in this community and the attitude of our young children. This is an original program, and I will pass it down to the commissioners to see, of the commander of the United States Pacific Fleet in the United States of America, or I should say Admiral Haney. Admiral Haney grew up in Kingman Park. He's a graduate of Eastern High School, and he is the commander of the Pacific Fleet of the United States Navy. Commander Haney is the individual who, when the president puts his finger on the button, it goes directly to Commissioner Haney. Commissioner Haney presses the button for any nuclear weapons that are fired in this country, worldwide. And wanted to pass this to the commissioners. Again, we're very proud of Commissioner Haney. He grew up on Emerald Street and in the 300 block of 18th Place Northeast. That's right behind Elliott Junior High School. And he as well, his family wanted this presentation made to you. This is his original indoctrination program of being made the commander of the Pacific Fleet. This is an original program that his family loaned to me to present to you tonight. So I wanted to pass this down so you can take a look at it. And secondly, I wanted you to know one other individual who's a Kingman Park resident. I don't know if you're familiar with Richard Smallwood, but he's a gospel singer, internationally known gospel singer. Richard Smallwood also grew up in Kingman Park. This is one of his albums. He's known worldwide. He attended Elliott Junior High School. As a matter of fact, he was in school with Veronica and I. We were classmates of his. And he also learned music, his musical experience from a music teacher by the name of Joyce Leibowitz, a well-known music teacher in the District of Columbia Public Schools. She was a Jewish music teacher who was dedicated to teaching African American children. He was also taught by Roberta Flack at Brown Junior High School. So he walked these very streets of Kingman Park, and he's another very famous resident. And I'll pass that down to you. And lastly, but not least, I wanted to show you, and I'll pass that down to the commissioners, because our experience with this commission, we want to thank these commissioners, particularly Commissioner Blackmail and Commissioner Henderson, who over the years have strongly supported Kingman Park and the Kingman Park Civic Association, and one of our famous members, Ms. McCree. Again, she was well known. She worked hard in the community, supporting the community. And this is the official proclamation from the DC Preservation Board, and it notes 5D. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it has the 5D Commission that backed our nomination, which was passed, making the schools on the Hill historic. And we are forever grateful to the 5D Commission and Commissioner Blackmail, and particularly Commissioner Henderson. Commissioner Blackmail first gave us a letter of support on behalf of making the schools on the Hill historic. So we want to pass this down in case you haven't seen it. We think that the 5D Commission is one of the best commissions in the city, and we're being very serious, and it's not just because that you've nominated us. So thank you.
Well, Mr. Walton, I want to thank you and Ms. Ragland and all of your neighbors for the tremendous outpouring of support that you showed to us when the schools on the hill, were vulnerable and certainly needed historic preservation. So you rallied to the